Thieves broke into a single mother's house after childbirth. Find out what happened then. Hello, dear guests and viewers of our channel. Brew some tea, sit back, and enjoy watching and listening to our narrations. When Mary was in the maternity hospital, everyone wondered how this fragile little girl had so much strength and energy. A girl, in fact, because Mary wasn't what one would call a woman. She was very small in stature, barely 5'1". She had thin arms and legs and the delicate cast of features. She was like a little porcelain doll. Looking at her, everyone wanted to hug her and put her in a cupboard so she wouldn't break. A month later, she was only 18 years old. All the other women in the hospital ward vented their grievances over life and their husbands, over children, if they had any, over what was hurting and aching. Mary never complained about anything. She just lent her ears to the others and smiled sympathetically. Mary helped everyone, the nurses, the women on the ward, and on the other departments. Sometimes, cleaning women would just come to work in the morning when Mary had already cleaned all the toilets. "Baby, why are you doing this? You should be getting some rest and regaining your strength," the nurses lamented. "No way. I'll get plenty of rest when I retire. I'm young and healthy. I'm as strong as an ox. Your legs must be sore. Anyway, I couldn't sleep. I'm used to getting up at home at the crack of dawn. I can't twiddle my thumbs," Mary said. But the amazing thing was something else. When they brought her a newborn baby to feed, everyone watched with their mouths forming an O. This was one real big boy. The boy weighed nearly 8 pounds, and Mary could hardly seem to hold him in her arms. But you should have seen the love she had for him. It's immediately apparent that she was going to be a great mom. Her roommates wondered how Mary could give birth to him without receiving stitches. She even asked the doctor about it. The doctor smiled and explained that sometimes they put in a few cosmetic stitches if there was a tear during labor, but not always. However, in her case, everything was fine and no stitches were needed. Although, of course, given the baby's weight and Mary's own stature, even for doctors, it was the exception rather than the rule. "You should count yourself fortunate. Your husband must be 6 feet tall," said the doctor. Mary didn't say anything back. She only stooped her head and blushed a little. No, I'm a single mother," she said, leaving the office. And indeed, no one came to Mary. No one visited her. No fruit or flowers, and only a dirty cat came to visit her through the window. The ward wasn't high up on the ground floor. The cat somehow managed to climb up the eaves and came to Mary. "Is this your cat? You must have brought it with you from the village," Mary's roommate asked snidely. "No, I suppose it's a local cat," replied Mary. She was astonished at this. From the first day of her stay in the maternity hospital, the cat had climbed in the window and settled down to sleep on her bed, so she thought it was a local. The nurses sometimes feed the cats to catch mice. Then Mary had given birth and was moved to a room on the first floor. She was equally surprised that the cat had come in through the window again and was once again nestled on her bed. It was an interesting story. Mary fed it a little, and in the evening the cat would leave, but come back again in the morning. It was as if it went to work on the night shift and came back in the afternoon to sleep it off. The day Mary was discharged, a new girl was placed in the ward. She was discontented with everything, and nothing pleased her. Mary tried to smile politely at her, but deep down, she was glad she wasn't going to stay here with this arrogant girl. As Mary was about to leave, she suddenly heard her say, "Hillbilly, take along your cat. You're running a menagerie," said the new girl. "Why not?" thought Mary, and took the cat home. The stripes on the cat reminded her of a mackerel fish, so she started calling him Stripey. Stripey moved into Mary's house rather eagerly. The cat felt itself in the village house. Sometimes the cat would be gone for days at a time, and Mary would catch herself worrying about it. Then he'd come in all tattered, with blood on its muzzle, the marks of battle on its head, and someone else's fur hanging in shreds from its claws. So the Stripey knew how to stick up for itself and was actively fighting the local cats for territory. Stripey was a big cat. It could stand up to any dog if it had to, so they lived in great comfort. After its fights, Stripey slept in a cubbyhole behind the stove. Mary continued with her usual passion and energy to run the household and look after the baby. Only in the evenings, when everything was done, would she sit in an armchair by the window and look at the faded picture she had on the shelf in a simple frame and put on the weeps. No, not loudly, not sobbing her heart out. A tear just ran down her cheek on its own accord. At such moments, Stripey would climb onto her lap, purr softly, and lick a salty tear from her cheek. It was Mary's own personal tragedy. She had lost the man she loved shortly before giving birth. They never got married. Then one day, there was a knock at Mary's door. Without waiting for permission to enter, the door swung open. This rustic habit not to lock the door. The uninvited guests were several men. Mary didn't know them and was terribly frightened. There were rumors in the village that there were thieves. Some people were breaking into houses, but mostly where the owners had gone away after the summer or where no one was home. Mary, on the other hand, was always at home and didn't think anyone would break into her house. She didn't have much to steal. The only thing of value was her mother's hand-knitted doily, but it was only valuable to Mary. There was also that picture on the shelf, which was on that doily. The baby was asleep in the cot. Mary jumped up from her chair and grabbed the picture automatically and began to huddle in the corner, cradling the picture in her arms. She looked like a frightened little girl. "Are there any adults in the house?" one of the men asked. "I'm an adult," whispered Mary. "Whose child is in the room?" the other man asked. "It's mine. I'm a single mother," Mary said, stammering. "All right." The men laughed in unison, cracking jokes. When they saw that there was nothing of more or less value at home, they decided to poke fun at the girl. "Well, if there's nothing to profit from, we'll take you. And maybe there'll be another ankle-biter in the house. You're a loner. You've got nothing to lose. You're not gonna cheat on anybody, except your picture," the man said, and pulled the picture away from Mary with force. And then Mary remembered the conversation with the doctor. "I have everything stitched up there after the birth. That's what they do. They stitch it up. The doctor told that to me." Mary started babbling. "No way. Let's have a look now. We'll put a hole in it again if we have to," said the thief, and grabbed Mary by the arm. They were sure that if she was a single mother, there was no one to stand up for her. But the thieves had no idea that Mary had left the maternity ward with more than just her son. Then Stripey came out from behind the stove screaming. The cat was no stranger to sharp claws and teeth, as we remember. He got the thieves all to the mustard. They got entangled in the curtains, which were hanging at the entrance, ripped off the ledge, and couldn't escape into the street in time. The cat thanked the girl for being the only one who treated him humanely. Everyone else in the maternity ward chased the cat away, so the thieves went home empty-handed, and Mary got into the habit of latching the door even during the day. Thank you for listening. What did you learn from this story? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe and like this channel as well. Also, click on that bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. All the best to you.